Well, Africa stocks were largely positive, but the miners' strike caused Lonmin's shares in Johannesburg to drop. Now, elsewhere, Nigeria edged higher, but Kenya fell slightly. Now, the rand recovered slightly despite the Lonmin strike, sparking concern of renewed labour unrest in an industry that accounts for more than half of South Africa's exports. The Kenyan shilling and naira were down. Gold was up after a weak 3 days. The metal has been feeling the pressure of a stronger dollar, dropping 14% this year. Brent crude fell below $103 per barrel over worries about global economic growth and demand after a bearish report from the International Energy Agency. Copper rose on speculation of higher demand from China. Well, speaking of Chinese factories with their cheap labour and quick turnaround times, they're the world leader in manufacturing, but things could be starting to shift. Now, as risks and costs rise, many companies are planning to move their production away from Asia, closer to home.
Asia has been a near nirvana for manufacturers. Massive factories, a young population with a strong work ethic, and in countries like Bangladesh, low costs. But costs and risks are rising for Western makers of widgets, T-shirts, and electronics. Increasingly, there's talk of onshoring or moving closer to home.
Clearly in the US, there's more and more of a rethinking, is China really the right location for outsourcing your manufacturing, for getting cost advantages? So clearly there's a trend on its way.
Landed costs in China could match those in the U.S. in just a couple of years. And more than a third of U.S.-based manufacturers with sales over $1 billion are planning or considering bringing production back to the United States. Some of the biggest savings for U.S. firms building factories in places closer to home include lower freight costs and speedier delivery to market. A horrific Bangladesh factory disaster has also highlighted the risks of sourcing products at the lowest possible cost. It's left several global brands scrambling to preserve their hard-earned reputations. And another issue, Asian countries are no longer so keen to serve as the world's manufacturing backyard. That growth model needs to evolve, says the Asia Development Bank in a recent report called Beyond Factory Asia. Frontier Asian markets like Myanmar may still dream of building the infrastructure to support a thriving manufacturing sector. But much of the factory of the world is beginning to move on, and global brands will soon have to do the same.